fucking families after tiny... Oh, no, fuck.
The story begins with Pete, a world-class assassin who finally sits down in a quiet support group and opens up for the first time in his life. Not about his missions, not about the people he's taken out, about himself. He admits he's addicted to killing, that every job leaves him feeling emptier than the last. He finishes his boss Mateo's latest assignment, but the guilt still sits heavy on him, refusing to fade. Soon after, Pete is ordered to eliminate Angela, Mateo's most dangerous rival. However, the moment he steps into her apartment building, her guards ambush him. A vicious elevator fight breaks out. Meanwhile, back at Mateo's headquarters, one of his men discovers a listening device hidden in the office. The last person who was seen there? Pete. Mateo explodes with rage and puts a $500,000 bounty on Pete's head, demanding every assassin in the organization hunt him down. Moments later, after leaving the support group, Pete is suddenly knocked out by enforcers. When he wakes, he finds himself staring at Yuri, an old friend now the lead torturer. At first Pete laughs it off, thinking Yuri is joking. But the fire from the furnace glows over racks of torture tools, and the joke elevates into a strong fight.
Come on, he's one guy!
You know.
Later, Yuri collapses from blood loss. Despite everything, Pete can't abandon him. He calls an ambulance and disappears into the night before help arrives. With nowhere else to go, Pete heads to the one place he thinks might still be safe, a bar run by his ex-girlfriend, Maura, who also happens to be Mateo's daughter. Their reunion is tense, full of old wounds that never fully healed. But before they can talk, Orlando, a hulking assassin with a personal grudge, bursts in with a squad of backup. A brutal hand-to-hand fight erupts. Pete and Maura take them all down, but the emotional distance between them remains. Maura tells Pete she won't risk her life for him again. As Pete tries to slip away, another assassin squad kidnaps him. Their leader, Ming-Ju, a bitter old rival, presses him to confess. Pete notices their stun batons and, without warning, launches a counterattack. The fight tears through the vehicle. After the confrontation, Pete drives off, still hunted. He heads next to Christos, once his closest friend. But Christos is convinced Pete betrayed the organization. Their conversation turns into a savage fight, both men fueled by old pain.
How you like it?
The fight only stops when Christos' girlfriend calls. After the call, Christos admits the deeper truth: Pete never made time for anyone, not even when Christos' daughter was hospitalized. Missions always came first. Though he now believes Pete might be innocent, the damage in their friendship still stings. Realizing he must speak to Matteo somehow, Pete goes back to Mora. But the moment she hears he came from Christos, she shuts down. She tells him everyone has a life, family, hobbies, friendships, and Pete walked away from all of it. Before he can defend himself, she shoots him with a tranquilizer dart. Meanwhile, some wounded assassins crawl back to Matteo's headquarters, bragging despite being humiliated in battle. Matteo snaps and silences them with a furious roar. Just then, Pete calls Mora's phone. Matteo tells him he has one final chance to clear his name: he must kill Angela. Pete wakes from a terrifying hallucination to Mora scolding him for causing chaos earlier at her bar. But before they can continue, their front door is smashed open by another group sent by Matteo. Their long-haired leader orders his men to cuff Pete, but Mora quickly drops them with tranquilizer darts. Pete and Mora knock out the remaining fighters together.
Reaction, look at the way that we taking it, we dropping the bags. Look at the way that we sing it, I see the look in your eyes. It's just a part of the game. Why are you panic? Look at the way that we battling. Look at the way that it's way that I
Immediately after the fight, Pete tries to take this as a sign she still cares. He finally confesses his feelings, and Mora admits she still loves him, but she loves herself too. She knows Pete can't balance life and bloodshed at the same time. Pete promises he'll change. Later, in order to fulfill Matteo's mission, Pete infiltrates Angela's stronghold while Mora provides sniper support. Inside, he tears through guards with brutal precision, using sticks, grenades, fists, whatever he can grab. Each room becomes more dangerous, each enemy stronger than the last. He eventually reaches Angela's right-hand man. Their duel ends only when Pete suffocates him with a plastic bag. Meanwhile, Mora faces Angela alone. At the last second, Pete bursts into the room. Together, they overpower Angela. Mora delivers her own justice, forcing Angela to swallow a deadly pill, the same kind she once used on Mora's brother. Angela collapses, and by dawn, the mission is over. When they return, bruised and exhausted, Matteo drops the final twist: everything that happened, the ambushes, the accusations, the bounty, was a test. A brutal test to see if Pete was worthy of becoming his successor. And Pete passed. Scarred, tired, but finally free from lies, Pete and Mora walk into the dawn with a bond reforged through blood and fire. If you have liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and follow, because it enables the channel grow.